What's up, YouTube? Oh man, this is uh, this is a big upset, man. Ronda Rousey getting knocked out by Holly Holmes. Um, I have to say I'm happy. I'm elated by it. You know, this really blows up the UFC hype train. But let's talk about like the money. First off, I want to give a shout out to EJ Boxing Live. You know, Earl Jarrett, he spoke up on it. He did a video on it. I think I'm gonna put a link in the description below. And Sean from the Boxing Socialist, he did like he did like two videos, you know. So then on top of it, and so anyway, I watched the fight myself on Daily Motion. So that fight is still up, man. I didn't see the full fight on YouTube. I saw it on Daily Motion. So I'll post a link up in that description. So I'm put EJ Boxing Live up in there. And then you guys can check out Boxing Socialist on YouTube. And then I'm put the full fight with Ronda Rousey, getting knocked out by Holly Holmes, and the description. So anyway, man, hindsight is like 2020, man. Hindsight is 2020. But I was looking at the fight and I'm like thinking like, man, what's that below? Because I'm like fast forwarding through all the stuff, the ring entrance and stuff like that. But I see their records and stuff like that. So I'm looking at Holly Holmes and she's like 9-0. And I know a little bit about her that, she was like a decorated, professional boxer and stuff like that, right? And check this out, man. On the odds, they show the odds up in there. So they show a record, where she's from, and like Earl Jarrett said, she's out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. She's training with a bunch of decorated, I guess, strikers, and guys who like, can box and stuff like that. There's a camp out there. I want to say Ronnie Shields, but the guy wasn't like Ronnie Shields, like Shields something. I forgot the guy's name, but anyway, she had a great camp. She has she had a great camp, and from my understanding, she's got a great team down there up in Albuquerque, training her. That trained her for this fight. But I noticed the odds, man. The odds had her like plus like 700. And I currently looking at the article, right? It's like USA Today. It's like for the win, right? And so it's USA Today Sports, right? There's an article because I was like, man, what are the odds, man? What are the odds? And I wanted to double check before I made this video and stuff like that, right? So I go up in there and I'm checking it out. I'm looking at it right now, but the title of the article, it's not worth it to bet on Ronda Rousey against Holly Holmes. And EJ, Earl Jarrett, he was smart enough. He had put money down. He was like, man, I should have put more money down on Holly Holmes. I knew she was going to win. I picked her to win and I bet on her. So I know he happy because not only he got the prediction right, but, he got some money in his pocket. But, man, they had her like a plus 900, bro. A plus 900. We talk about like Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas, almost odds. I don't know what the odds were, but Buster Douglas was a big underdog. And like hindsight is 2020 when he was talking about how like Buster Douglas was all lazy and how like he could have been a better, heavyweight if he just had applied himself. And it turned out he had applied himself for that Mike Tyson fight. I remember when I was little, man, I was like, Buster Douglas' mom had just died, and he was like, man, I'm putting all my effort into it. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm Mike Mike Tyson fan, and I'm a kid, and like, what do I know about boxing, man? All I know is Mike Tyson comes on, and he knocks people out on HBO. That's it. All I know is Mike Tyson at this time. This was a minute ago, right? And so, yeah, man, I'm thinking like, man, you doing it for your mom or whatever like that. You about to get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? This is Mike Tyson. Ain't nobody beat Mike Tyson. He's he's Iron Mike. And so, yeah, man, nobody knew. I don't think anybody thought. The guys who do the odds in Vegas think. They didn't think that maybe the jab would be a problem. But I don't even think they thought Holly Holmes would be a problem for Ronda Rousey. Like everybody's thinking like, man, what do and everybody's I listen to all this commentary, up on YouTube, and people saying like, well, I think it was like the boxing. I wanna say it's the boxing baby for Dante's Boxing Nation. I wanna say it's her. Or somebody, it was somebody from one of the hangouts. How you got Beats, he does the hangout, and then you got Dante Box Nation. He gets like Ego on there, and he gets it was it's Ego and E King or something like that. They get on there and they do their little hangouts or something like that, and they got the boxing baby. I could have sworn it was her who said, "What is Ronda Rousey gonna do if she can't get through, Holly Holmes, striking skills, right?" And then I say in one video, I was like, man, it should have been Holly Holmes on the cover of Ring magazine. Like, she's one of ours, you know what I'm saying? She's one of us. She's with the boxing, she's got the boxing skills. She's a former, boxing champion and stuff like that. And this fight coming up, it should have been her on a Ring magazine. It would have made sense because she's the former boxer, you know what I'm saying? It's UFC versus boxing. But like hindsight being 2020, this girl was also, the color commentators mentioned like, oh yeah, she hides her punches, she hides her kicks behind her punches, so she can kick too. She's and they were like, oh yeah, she used to be a kickboxer. I guess she was a kickboxing champion before she even became a boxing champion. So I'm like, man, this girl, she can fight. Ronda Rousey ain't fighting nobody who was like an amateur karate champion or high school wrestler or something like that who just got in the game, like 4 or 5 years ago and nothing like that. She's fighting a real MMA martial artist. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people forget. I think that's what like nobody really paid attention to. They think UFC is the grappling and stuff like that. No, UFC is what it is, the ultimate fighting champion. When UFC came out back in the day when it was on VHS, I remember, man, being in college, me and my buddy, we'll go to this place like called Family Video, man, down up in I ain't gonna tell you where, man. Family Video. If anybody know what Family Video is, it's still it's still around. You know what part of Illinois that place is. They still selling DVDs and VHS tapes, I guess. That's the report I got back from one of my family members. But yeah, I'm not around that neck of the woods no more, man. I moved on. So anyway, they still got that Family Video, and we used to watch like all these UFC fights. I'm talking about the UFC, not what it was like UFC, uh, uh, 185 and stuff like that, where you just had the champion, defend his belt, and then you had like 5 other guys fight on pay-per-view. No, I'm talking about like the UFC Ultimate Fighting Tournament. Like you had to fight like 3 or 4 or 5 guys just to win the tournament. I don't even think it was a weight class. You just went in there and you fought, and it was like a war of attrition. And that's the ultimate fighting champion. You know, that's the ultimate fighting champion. The dude that can ply his trade, and sometimes you had like the Gracies or whatever like that. What's his name? Gracie won a few times because he was like a master judo champion or jujitsu, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu or something like that. But yeah, man, this woman is decorated, and I don't think they put that in the count. So here it is. You got a UFC fighter who everyone thinks is just a boxer. I don't know why it. I don't know why they thought she was just like some kind of fluke or anything like that. There's in women's boxing, there's like a, geez, man, it's like such a gap with skills and stuff like that. They probably thought that maybe she wasn't tested or something like that, which is pretty relevant because in female boxing the level of competition is very like volatile. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you'll get a good matchup. Sometimes you got a girl that maybe's like got 5 wins. Give the girl that probably has the amateur background and probably like 20 wins a lot of trouble for some odd reason. But that's the same. It happens in men's boxing too. I mean, look at Marcus Maidana. He pretty much walked off the streets. He ain't had that much boxing skills, and his technique gives a lot of guys had at one point gave a lot of guys a lot of issues. I mean Victor Ortiz got busted up, but then again he's a quitter. So, but yeah, man, I don't know why they didn't take that into account and maybe had like a plus 250 or something like that. That would have been more acceptable. It would, and not only that, it would have been more respectable. It would have been more respectable. But Holly Holmes, man, she got in there. She used the ring, and she was very smart, man. She used a lot of lead rights, and then she's a southpaw on top of that, man. She's a southpaw, man. She's a southpaw. She wasn't even right-handed. That's like another degree of difficulty right there. So you have like a master striker, you know, a master, striker, former kickboxer, so she can kick. Then she know how to use her hands. You know what I'm saying, with the boxing skills and stuff like that. So I mean, man, her her skills as a striker really superseded Ronda Rousey's grappling skills. Cause Ronda Rousey, she got in there and looked like she tried to box. She tried to box, man. And then you had a this girl was so good, man. She had this, like stepped back and did like a side kick in Ronda Rousey's face and stuff like that. And she wasn't greedy either, man. She wasn't greedy. She was just setting up that left uh, all day. She might as well have been like Donna Stevenson up in there. The way she was using that left, she was just lining it up all day. And I don't know how. And Ronda Rousey, she didn't move her head or anything. She didn't make any attempt. If she would have been best served, but just doing the high guard, trying to cut off the ring, and grappling. And that's the messed up part about it. Holly Holmes outdid her on the grappling because she got out of her hold and got up. Then she got Ronda Rousey in the hold and body slammed her. And I was like, oh man, this is bad. And Ronda Rousey's nose was all bleeding and stuff like that. And her lip was busted. I think she had a busted lip, like she was cut, like her mouth was cut on the inside from what I saw at the end of that first. But go ahead and check it out yourself on Daily Motion. Now, I think Sean Craddock? Anyway, Boxing Socialist, Sean and Boxing Socialist had mentioned that he had reported that a lot of people felt as if it's De La Hoya's fault and that he jinxed Ronda Rousey. Now, I mean, you know what? That's her team's fault. That's her team's fault. You know what I'm saying? That's management's fault because they, they, and that's also Dana White's fault, man. They should have known this. They should have known this. This what separates the amateurs from the pros, and they what they say about money, and like the devil's in the details, the money's in the details, and stuff like that. And people who have make wise decisions have a lot of foresight, man. Not like not hindsight, not after the fact, before the facts. Before they take all the facts and everything to account. And this was an upset just waiting to happen. I don't know if Dana White wanted this to happen, but this is like they thought the Ring cover magazine was the black eye to boxing with having Ronda Rousey on it. This is like shattering the UFC symbol. You know what I'm saying? Ronda Rousey getting like blasted out like that is like just plummets the UFC stock. Like, who do they have, man? Because they put so much money, so much media emphasis on Ronda Rousey being this like female tough guy. She had the movies, she was in the movie and everything like that. Excuse me. And just to see her get beat up like that, it's like, whoa. Like, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes hard, man. Like, pump the brakes hard. Like, oh, man. Now I'm like looking at this. I'm like, wow, man. She just made her look just average. It was like I don't even think it warrants a rematch. Like if they do get a rematch, Ronda Rousey, it's not gonna be like she can't go straight back up in there. Cause Holly Holmes, no, now. She probably had some butterflies coming up in there. That's why she was circling Ronda Rousey, which was a smart move. But hell, Holly Holmes was probably just shaking off some of the cobwebs. Maybe she had butterflies or something like that. It was the reason why she was moving around so much. And maybe that was part of the game plan. But now she knows now she knows she at least got one game plan for sure, that she can circle Ronda Rousey to stay away from her and use her boxing skills and striking skills to beat her up. But Ronda Rousey doesn't have nothing to go on, because when they were in the clinch and stuff like that, I mean, even Holly Holmes was able to beat her on that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it was like they went like 3 rounds and Ronda Rousey had her on the mat for 10-15 minutes, and then Holly Holmes was able to get in that great KO kick in a fourth. And it's not like Holly Holmes pulled out upset victory with a punch. No, she methodically beat this woman, man. She was throwing elbows, not left elbows, lead hooks, jabs, uh, kicks. Those little kicks and stuff they do, those like parrying kicks and stuff like that. When they kick at the legs, like when they jab them with the kicks and stuff like that. You know what they do in like kickboxing and stuff like that. If you see like K1 kickboxing or just regular kickboxing or like Muay Thai, Muay Thai kickboxing and stuff like that, or Thailand, those front kicks and stuff like that. She was doing all that stuff, and man, this is a good look for boxing, man. This win is a good look for boxing. I know it's like a UFC fight, but this is like a pure victory for boxing. This is like redemption for a lot of stuff that's been going on with this media hype, with like Ronda Rousey being able to beat up men like Floyd Mayweather and stuff like that. Ronda Rousey, she would crush Floyd Mayweather and all this other stuff. And her calling out Floyd Mayweather. This is like a big piece of humble pie that she has to eat. And you know what? She even said it herself that she doesn't even walk around at well, what was that? 135 they fight at. I don't know what like bantamweight. Well, I don't know what's considered bantamweight for the females, but whatever weight she's fighting at, she doesn't even walk around at that weight. And he was fighting in the weigh-in. She looked kind of drained in the face though. In the weigh-in, then the weigh-in, Holly like punking her in the weigh-in. Man, she's like, you know, put a fist in her face like, yo, you better back up, girl. And then, Ronda Rousey almost got knocked out in the weigh-in. But I wouldn't be surprised if she goes into some kind of depression. I was thinking like, man, you know what? Wouldn't it be kind of interesting if this was like Ronda Rousey's last fight because she got in this depression and gained a lot of weight and couldn't really get back down to fighting weight and probably decided like, you know what, this is a career. The girl is like 28 years old, right? Hmm. That's interesting. And then you got it. She's a woman, so we don't know what kind of if she, feels some kind of way, and she might end up, bearing a child. I mean, she got a boyfriend and stuff like that. She might get herself pregnant or something like that. So this might as this might be Ronda Rousey's last fight. Because I don't think she did a post fight interview. That's what EJ said. She like walked off, so they dragged her out of the ring. They dragged her out of the ring, and that whole crew was devastated, man. Like management, the referee was like hugging her and stuff like that. Like I was like, man, why are you hugging? Hugging her, and then like the management was all up in her face, like you got knocked out, and stuff like that. I didn't see Dana White, but then again, they were supposed to be, I think, in like Sydney, Australia, or something like that. But yeah, man, that's my thoughts on it. Um, De La Hoya is not to blame. I think we're just gonna have to put it on Ronda Rousey. She was the one that entered the octagon. You know, you never know what happens in any given day, man. Any given day. But Holly Holm should not have been like a 900 to whatever 900 to one underdog. She should have been like she shouldn't have been a plus 900. It should have been a plus like maybe 250 at the worst, or But man, this is really bad. This is like a great upset, man. So check out the fight, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think. This was wow. I'm at a loss for words. I'm elated though. I'm happy because this vindicates a lot of boxing fans and the whole ring cover magazine thing De La Hoya did. This is just like all like, oh man, this is like just like I don't know, it's like premonition or what. I ain't got the word for it, but this is just we're gonna be talking about this for a while, man. I can't wait to hear what the guys in the the Google Hangouts are gonna say about this. I want to like other guys. I just want to know what like the box voice is like. Wingy, Dwyer, Beats and Rhymes, and you know. I want to hear what like Natty Turner got to say. I want to hear what those guys got to say about it, cause this is a good look for boxing. Cause Holly Holm's boxing skills and a little bit of her kickboxing skills too. But then again, it's kick and boxing, so it's like 2 for 3 on that one. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'll catch y'all later. All right, bye.